Hello everyone and welcome once again to Let's Play Morrowind. Last time when we left off, I was just setting out from Margon after wrapping up all of the different quests that exploring that place made available to me. A little confused about what's going on with that cliff racer. Looks like he's actually dead. Okay, that's fine. Let's leave town now and... Oops. Rather than proceed to the Rothan ancestral tomb, let's keep tracking along the road north. We're in the ash wastes now. We're off the roads. The signs do not indicate the presence of any more settlements up here, although we know from talking to the scouts that this sort of crisscrossing maze of ravines can and eventually will take us to the Ursulaku camp, our next destination settlement. Oh, for fuck's sake. Thank you. Let's gun down the approximately 15,000 cliff racers that are always around here in the Ashlands. Let's shoot the Owlet too. Why not? And now let's repair our longbow. And let's track left here to the Hyrat Vasamsi egg mine. This is really only notable in that it was mentioned at the memorial in the trade house. It's where Ravila Nuryan, I think that was the name, died trying to cure this mine. Let's explore it right quick. Although we don't get any actual reward for it and no one will acknowledge that it was done, just for the sake of feeling awesome, we can tackle Ravila's mission for her and succeed where she failed. Really not much going on in here. Let's just roll straight through into the Queen's lair. Just taking a couple of notes. If you'll pardon the little hiccup. Alright, let's head in here. You can kill the blighted foragers and warriors. And now that the place is done, I think it's Vivek's Mercy. I thought I had a Cure Blight Disease on other spell, but maybe I don't. Maybe I can't cure the Kwama Queen. That's none of these. Ah, Realm's Gift. That'll do it. Cure Blight Disease on touch. It's like, come on, I know I have one. There we go. Alright. Out we go. Oh, we did what what's-her-name could not. Good for us. And we can head back out here. Just kind of show you where we are and how these things go. Another one? It's that way. I'll watch. We need to watch to the left. The path eventually hits a switchback and curves back around to the south, where there is another rogue Ashlander camp. These guys are hostile, like most rogue Ashlanders out here in the wilderness. Now let's deal with them. We've got Salmus Kaushmamanu, who has nothing I need. We've got Mamea Ularshenentis, also has nothing I need, and Shanit Ashar Dawn. He's got 77 kite and arrows. That's actually something. I'll use those. Okay. Next target. Still further north. come on, not now. Internet's crapping out on me as I try to look at the next location I'm thinking of. As is unfortunately its wont. Thank you, Comcast. If we proceed north and just hug this ridge to the left, in addition to a bunch of critters, and I need to be careful not to let myself get turned around. Oh, come on. Turned around in here. Yosemite. Yes, that's what I was looking for. I'm just not sure how I got so disoriented. As you can see, we're actually now kind of at a dead-end point for this particular canyon we've been exploring. I could have sworn there was one more racer. He'll probably show up to hassle me later. That's alright. Let's head into the cave. Well, first I need to make sure it's actually appropriate to go ahead and explore it, but my internet isn't cooperating. Which gets very annoying very fast. Okay, yes. It's fine. Alright. Here we are inside Yosemite. Daedra! Really? I swear, sometimes I really don't know how you're deciding what's a hit and what's a miss. Marching forward, we get 2 Daedra and Dralissi Ienith. Okay, with her down, we can loot this little room she's in. Not much to it though, as you can see. That's alright. Corpse Preparation V2 and Darkest Darkness. I believe we've already read both of those. We have. And up here, there's a copy of A Less Rude Song, which we've already read. Okay. Onward then. God damn it, why won't the internet work? Alright, let's explore this complicated looking cave before we proceed. You gotta fish someplace. There it is. There doesn't appear to be any loot under the water, though. How interesting. How about on the upper level? These noisy-ass crystals are. Just a kettle surrounded by mushrooms. How interesting. There's a trapped cavern door. A storm atronach. I'll take the void salts. And Iranora, I think. Alright, let's take her gold, and now let's poke around her room. There's a copy of Aedra and Daedra, which we've read a long time ago. 65 security, can't argue with that. Corpse Preparation V1 and Darkest Darkness, we've read those. And a copy of The Affairs of Wizards. That's the House Telvanni introductory book that we've already read. I can't get the fucking webpage to pull, but I suppose the good news is there really isn't much in there. So now we need to head back to the south just a little bit. Okay. Now we're ready. Let's get up out of here. It's like my actual internet is working fine. So I was just able to handle some Gmail. Anyway, we need to track back to the southeast, and what you can just see, this is where the rogue Ashlander camp was. There's a path heading further east that we skipped on our way up. That's where we need to head now. If you look at the world map, that'll take us over to this obvious canyon, which is the Foyada Banidad, that the scouts have been telling us about. The way to the north coast, and by extension to the Ursulaku camp. I don't know why I have my katana out. Got tons of kite and arrows to chew through. And it is marked with a cairnstone. We can run over this way. There's a racer we shot down at some point. Not sure how it managed to fall all the way over here, but that's alright. And there's another cairn. Oh my. Our local map is fail sauce. That's unnerving, honestly. I hope it'll kick in soon. In the meantime, let's shoot down critters. And although we of course know that the Ursulaku are north, let's explore south a ways first. For just that brief, glorious moment, I thought we were getting a break from the ash storm. Such luck, it seems. There we go. Now what's after me? Another racer. On the one hand, it's kind of like, well, duh, of course it's a racer. What'd you expect? Okay, local map is at least starting to kick in. Another racer. Jesus Christ, what is that, 6? 7? There's one. 2 more. Oh, man. Seriously. I think at some point when I was on the Morrowind subreddit, somebody actually identified the specific vintage Bethesda designer who was responsible for the implementation of cliff racers in vanilla Morrowind. Anyway, if we proceed far enough southeast toward the Red Mountain, we're going to find the first landmark we're going to hit is another rogue Ashlander camp. Oh, and look, here it is. Let's deal with them. And another racer to boot, because always. Okay. We've just handled Nirate Shin Ilu. He's got a little gold as well as the arrow, one of the arrows I shot into him. And we've got Kanat Asalatanis. Who also just has one of the arrows I shot into him. And 25 gold in their chests. These little rogue Ashlander camps are going to be a pretty regular feature the entire time we're here in what you would call the Ashlands region. Just in case you're wondering. Now, if we keep going just past them, there should be a path to the west, further east. Pretty sure we can go ahead and do this, but let's make sure. Alright, so if we had just past their camp, you can see another path leading farther east. Just kill these critters right quick. I'm pretty sure the Foyata's about to dead end on the south anyway. Yeah, it is. Let's just deal with the racers and call it good. God, there's always a fucking swarm. It's never just one or two. Oh yeah, you can see the Foyata more or less, it doesn't exactly dead end here, but it runs up against the ghost fence, and there's nothing over here that I need or want to be messing with just yet. Instead, I'll head back here and take this little path heading further east. As I do this, oh my, ash creatures outside the ghost fence. I thought that wasn't supposed to happen. The temple lied to me. Anyway, we can work our way down into basically a whole new area here. But what you want to do is just pretty rigorous. Oh, come on. Stay pretty rigorous about tracking these cairn stones to the north. And the path will curve around until you reach a Dunmer stronghold. This is Falasmaryon. I believe we're good to go ahead and explore it. I'm going to double check right quick, but I believe that is the case. Yes, so Falasmaryon is the site of a House Redoran quest that, of course, as aspiring Telvanni, we're never going to get. Let's see what we've got up here. We've got the lower level. It's laid out like most of the others. The Propylon chamber. And this structure. Misun Aiken's hut. Well, that's unusual. We better check that out first. Misun Aiken. He is, incidentally, the master trainer in marksman. I don't think we've been introduced, Outlander. I'm Misun Aiken. How can I help you? Background, I am Misun Aiken, archer. He's got almost no dialogue, but he is the master trainer and marksman. So, there you go. Let's loot his nondescript little hut. He's got a copy of the marksmanship lesson, which I think we've already read. Yes. And that's it. So let's leave. Alright. Let's check out the propylon chamber next. They're usually empty, save for the actual propylons. This is no exception. Well, let's head to the lower level. This is a pretty intense 6th house base. There's even a named Dagoth at the bottom of it. There's an ascended sleeper over there. Roll right down the hall. There's another one. And here's a side room. We've got an ash ghoul. I don't love those, but what can you do? And then here's the dead Irer Nervion with a Nervion ancestor ring. I think that's actually a quest item. Let me check where it turns up on my list. Yeah, that ring only features in the quest. So we can ignore it. Or take it. Up to you. I'm going to take it. Got some potions here. Otherwise nothing. We'll continue. Get another arrow back. That's nice. There's a dreamer. And there's another ash ghoul. Oh shit, just kidding. That's Dagoth Gainel. Ah! Is that our first named Dagoth? It might be. Ah, cool. Oh, that's always fun. We've got the sewers. Huh. I had no idea we were about to fight our first real named Dagoth. That's fun. There's a dreamer, and here's the next side room. Ooh. Okay, so we got 2 dreamers. And Dagoth Tanis with his 6th house amulet. Dagoth Tanis, along with the Nervion Ancestor Ring, is the target of that Redoran quest I mentioned. 6th house Bellhammer and 6th house Amulet are often worthwhile items if you're still looking for loot purely to sell. We've got some books in here. Let's move this stuff out of the way. We've got a small chest, the Wolf Queen Book 2, which we've read, and Smugglers Island, which is new. So we'll read Smugglers Island, since it's new, and then we'll take it off the book list. Smugglers Island by Quarda Anarian. It took a little over an hour for Herathol to search the island from one end to the other. He turned back to Sriz, who was where he left him, half buried in the sand, to pack his broken bones. One of the crates of moon sugar was open. "You're sampling the merchandise?" asked Herathol angrily. "It takes away the pain," said Sriz. "How far away are we?" "We didn't make it as far as the mainland," said Herathol. "I can't see the coastline at all, but that's not all. I haven't found anything edible anywhere, just weeds and a few scraggly trees." "And no other survivors?" asked Cerise. "No, it looks like we're the only ones. I guess the nice way to look at it is that if we're rescued, we can divide the profits between 2 rather than between 12. So we'll either be rich or dead," said Cerise. "That's a comfort." Cerise was too battered to be of much help, but Herathol was able to construct a crude shelter weaving the sandweeds. As night fell on the small island, the 2 men discussed the smuggling operation and what went wrong. Their boat, laden with 5 crates of moon sugar, was supposed to meet another, the Sand Chariot, off the coast of Flaod. Who could have predicted the storm? Who could have predicted that everyone would drown, from the bold captain to the mysterious figure with ties to one of the royal houses? Everyone except for Cerise and Herathol. They decided that it was all the whim of Boethia or one of the other Daedra with cruel senses of humor. Finding fresh water was their first goal, and it turned out to be a fruitless quest. Herathol dug deeply, but there were no springs under the island, just sand and rock. Cerise felt panic seizing his soul until he saw the small, quick, golden fish swimming at the edges of the island. He had read somewhere that fish not only were food, but there was always a little fresh water within them. If he could catch one, the 2 men could be saved. With his broken legs, he was a pathetic predator, and he was soon reduced to hurling rocks at the alert and nimble little fish. Herathol watched Cerise's futile endeavor for a little while before getting to work. He used his small knife to whittle a point on a long, straight tree branch until he had fashioned a spear. Again and again he thrust the spear at the fish, but he had no more success than Cerise and his stones. "Have you never used a spear before?" said Cerise. "It's not my weapon of choice," said Herathol quietly, watching his prey and missing another with a splash and a curse. "N'chow!" Cerise laughed. "Do you want a rock?" Herathol ignored Cerise, murmuring, "The trick, as I've heard it, is to anticipate where your target's going to go and aim your spear there, not where they are now. I just have to observe them a little longer. Why can't the little fetchers swim in straight lines?" After an hour of flailing about, Herathol, by luck, managed to spear a fish. The men tore it apart and ate it raw. As the days and weeks went by, Herathol got better and better until he was able to strike quickly and with great accuracy. He could hit a fish by throwing the spear or by plunging at one at his feet. Ceres made fire, but being lame, he had to rely on Herathol for all the food. It was nearly 2 months after washing ashore that the men saw a boat on the horizon. They set a large fire, and the crew saw them. As it approached, they saw that it was the Sand Chariot, the very boat they were to have met on the night of the storm. The smugglers aboard would pay them good money for the moon sugar. Luckily, Ceres had used only a little bit of it, and they still had 5 nearly full crates. They were not only going to be saved, they were going to be rich, just as Herathol had said. Herathol excitedly started to help Ceres to his feet, but the man rose on his own. "You can walk," he said, laughing. "It's a miracle." "Ceres is not too steady, though," said Ceres. "Would you gather up the crates?" Herathol, overjoyed at rescue at long last, began picking up the crates and stacking them. "I wish you had told me that you could walk, though, mate. I could have used your help spearing dinner all these months." "Ceres watches, though," said Ceres. "You'd be surprised how much you can learn just by swimming. Don't forget the 5th crate over by the tree." Ceres shuffled over to the shore and saw that the boat was only a few minutes from landing. "And Ceres listens. When you said that a fortune divided by 2 was more profitable than a fortune divided by 12, Ceres listened to that, too." Ceres shuffled back to the crate by the tree, and it occurred to Ceres that a fortune divided by 1 was even better. Ceres pulled the spear out of Herathol's skull. The trajectory had been perfect. It had fallen down from the branches as soon as the crate was removed, just as he had planned. Like you said, the trick is to anticipate where your target's going to go and aim your spear there. Ceres pushed the crate to the shore and waved the boat in. Well, that's kind of a dick move, Ceres. Dude keeps you alive all that time? And you murder him? Anyway, here's a lame corpus. And now we can head through to the upper level, which I'd rather do before the sewers, personally. Up here, we have the usual options. I say we go clockwise. There's another ascended sleeper. There's a lame corpus. There's an ash ghoul. And there's a corpus stalker. Here are the stairs out to the top. Ash zombie. Corpus stalker. A lot of empty side rooms here. That feels unusual. There's your lame corpus. Some potions. I think that's going to turn out to be it. Let's just make sure we complete the circle. One more corpus stalker. Head in here, up and out. You see the roof is actually empty. I think I can actually speed this along a little if I take the more direct route back to the lower level and go that way to explore the sewers. An Ascended Sleeper, an Ash Ghoul, a rat, just because I do want to check that floating barrel. I wind up dealing with a slaughterfish. There's a lame corpus. Interesting. There's another lame corpus. And another rat. And over there is an Ash Ghoul. Nope, Dagoth Mulin. Just kidding. Okay, well, since we're over here, just note that we've closed that little loop. If we go over here, that terminates another branch point. Just like the underworks in Vivek, we can check these two tunnels. There's a floating barrel with a couple of comberries inside. I suppose that's something. And then we wind up here again. Oops. I suppose I needed to kill the last slaughterfish anyway. Only one tunnel now. That's exciting. Ah, spoke too soon. But here at the very bottom, there's a corpse. Huh. Not gonna lie, I expected more. Ah. Here's one at the exit. Special Flora of Tamriel. And an Amulet of Water Walking. Well, color me confused. I expected a little bit more. Oh well. That's it for Falasmaryon. Alrighty. We have one more little location to explore in the Margan region before we sort of officially move north. Oh, but we're not actually going to use it. You'll see when we get there. That's it, more or less. Alright, let's head up and out of the sewers. And out of here. And now, I want to head all the way back to the Foyada Banidad. I think the simplest way to get there is going to be to track all the way back to the last rogue Ashlander camp we dealt with. And we can start following the Foyada northwest, like we were instructed to do by the scouts to get to the Urshulaku camp. Oh, come on. Oh, we got it. I was about to be mad, but we actually scored the hit. Alright, so we spotted this Velothi tower when we first entered the Foyada. This is Shishi. We're going to skip it for now, because whether you join House Redoran or House Telvanni, either one, you eventually get sent here on a quest. Let's roll past that for now, and instead keep following the Foyada as instructed. See a big Dwemer ruin coming up on the right. We aren't actually at the entrance. It appears that's somewhere else. This, that is, however, the ruin of Bethungthums. Which... oh, come on now. I suppose we'll get to eventually, but it's actually the site of a different House Telvanni quest So even when we do find the entrance... Oh. Anyway, you'll eventually come to the cave of Shah Adneas, which I think we're good to explore. I'll need to check, but I think so. Something's after me. I was gonna say, it's probably the cliff racer I saw earlier. Sure enough, there it is. Okay. Yes, Shah Adneas is a good place to explore, but my hour is up, so I'm going to end the video here. Note that for purposes of divvying the map into a grid, we've crossed into the Aldredania region. We're pretty close to the Urshulaku camp now, and Aldredania itself the site of the Bitter Cup. Endgame Thieves Guild questing. Next time we'll start here at this cave of Shah Adneas and then continue exploring what's rapidly about to become the northern coast of Vardenfell. Until then, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoy my videos, please consider clicking an ad, liking, sharing, or subscribing, any or all of which will really help me out. But regardless, please know that I really do appreciate the time you spend watching and hope you have a fantastic day. Bye-bye.